Like load. Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Hey, we missed you. We're back. You know, that was such a struggle when I was doing the
No.
tweet for the today's episode. Is I wanted a we're back gift and couldn't really find one until finally it's like I went with a classic, the Jurassic Park, where I think we're back in business, and then everything goes to complete chaos. So figured, hey, why not? That seems appropriate, isn't it?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah. So, hey everybody, welcome. We're back. Shadow Watch live Dungeons and Dragons game with our cast of level 9 characters as they venture into the Underdark, into an abandoned dwarven city. So, just a couple of quick things to get out of the way. First and foremost, want to give a quick shout out to Sirenscape. Collection of background musics and soundboards you can use for your tabletop experience, whether it's high fantasy like Dungeons and Dragons, sci-fi, or other things like Call of Cthulhu. They have a whole plethora of sound sets you can utilize and mix and match depending on what you do. They even have an online player that allows you to play remotely with your friends. That way you have one person controlling the sound and everybody can listen in. So if you want more information, go to sirenscape.com to check that out. Of course, we're back. We're going to be doing this tonight, and tonight, scheduling wise, tonight we have challenge accepted, 8 p.m. Eastern here on this channel. The party has gotten into a lizard folk colony and has to figure out what they're going to do. There are so many ways this could go, and some could go really well and some could go really, really horribly wrong. But we'll find out tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow morning, Sunday, with Scoob at 12 noon here on YouTube. I actually have a dragon this time. One of my son's friends had heard I didn't have any unpainted dragons. He's like, "Oh, this is unacceptable." So he brought me over a WizKids young blue dragon mini. So I will be painting that tomorrow for Sunday with Scoob, which is a 2-hour painting session where I paint and chat with friends. The casts from my games are more than welcome to jump into a live voice chat we got to talk about characters, the game, or whatever else comes up. So feel free to check us out tomorrow for that. And if you're liking what you're seeing, please remember to hit that like button here on YouTube, hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification so you can be notified when future videos come out. And if you want to support the studio, there's a number of ways you could do that. There's going through patreon.com/scubastudio. If you want to become a patron, get some access to things and have some conversation. I agree it's a little quiet right now since we shifted all streams over to YouTube from Twitch, so you're gonna have to wait for some more stuff. But hey, the support is appreciated and loved. And if while you're watching this and you feel that the party is not having enough danger and excitement in their adventures, in the description there is a list of choices that you can do to support the studio and influence the game. For you are a trickster, and tricksters do what tricksters do. And as we all know, with Loki coming out in June and Loki causes trouble, you can embrace your inner Loki and influence the stream, whether it's wild magic, heals, buffs, all kinds of things. Again, check out the description for that stuff. I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's good. That's good. How are you guys doing? Doing good?
Yeah, I really missed playing.
Yeah, I kind of did too. The whole being sick, and I think you were sick one day. A lot of us have had our second doses of the COVID vaccine, and
Yeah.
that's been just a wild ride. I'm thinking because I was so sick with a sinus infection that my second shot was kind of just glossed over because the body was like, "Oh, we're already in the middle of something. You just wait in line." Excuse me.
Quite likely. Yeah, John and I got knocked down by our second shots. But I'm so relieved to have it. Oh my gosh. I finally got to have somebody over for their birthday yesterday because we were both vaccinated. It was so much fun. We played Mario Party and it was great.
It's always fun. Alrighty. So let's recap what's been happening and then figure out what we're going to do next. So since it's been about 3 weeks since we had a chat, let's kind of what had happened was the party had just finished going through a cellar that some mind flayers or illithid had set up shop in and were doing some chemical experiments on on something called the dust of contrariness, which kind of makes you very disagreeable and very violent. The illithid were using this dust to experiment on some myconids who were in this colony that had set up in kind of this large underground mushroom forest above the city. After succeeding on that, you managed to gain some loot and some treasure and some much needed downtime to kind of take a look at how we're going to do things. Next up, the party is planning to investigate the northwestern section of the city, where you had heard that there was a contingent of Dark Elves or Drow that had set up shop there. Unknown numbers, unknown about the region, so to speak. Cablis, your Sniblivin guide and companion and sidekick, who has been with you, helping kind of map the area and show and kind of guide you. She doesn't have a lot of information on this because they didn't venture in that area much, and when they did decide to go up and start investigating, the Drow had moved in, and they thought it was prudent to give them a wide berth. So, you guys have traveled back through the forest, had set up camp at the top of the ruined stairwell that descends down 1,500 feet to the city proper, to rest and relax and kind of get a game plan for what you're going to do as you descend back down and then make your way northwest to this drought, and all recently leveled up to level 9, so you should all be well rested, all that fun stuff. So at the start of the next day, after waking up and doing your morning routines, how do you wish to proceed?
Well, are we ready to get headed out? Is there anything you guys would like to do before we go?
I think we're good. Everybody got the long rest?
Yep. Got my new proficiency bonus.
We're good.
Shiny new 4. That's really nice.
You probably noticed that Shrag isn't really paying an awful lot of attention. He seems to be really deep in conversation with Nat, and they're sort of like his book's open on his knees, and he's like they're literally nattering away. He just seems a little bit more astute, a bit more academic than he has done previously. He may just be a little bit smarter.
Oh. Just walk up behind him and like put my hands on my knees and like bend over and try to look at the book. What you working on, Shaggy?
Oh, look at this. I got sketches of all sorts, and Nat, she's been teaching me loads. I've also taught her a few things too. Like, hold the book up for you to have a look at.
I nod sagely like I understand what I'm looking at, even though I do not.
Are you ready to head out yet, or are we having breakfast?
I can make breakfast.
Oh, I can
I
too.
still have some.
You got some of that meat?
Want some veggie pygmy? No, I'm out of the meat. No, I do have a little bit of unicorn jerky left if you would like some.
His face would just like, no, not honey. I mean, not like the rainbow stuff. That's like tofu.
Well, I hand him a hardtack biscuit. Here you go, breakfast.
Yum, yum.
All right, Obsidian, Anari, what are you guys doing?
Just gear up, make sure that all my equipment's ready, and prepare to head down.
Doing what I'm always doing, sharpening my blades. Just listening and watching.
Alrighty. So if you guys are all have breakfast, gear up, check all your rigging as you start your descent back down. Was Cablis going to go with you this time, or were you wanting her to kind of stay up and stay safe and wait for y'all again? I believe you're muted again, Anari.
Do you have the map again that she showed us? I think there was a place close to where we were going to need to go that we were going to ask her to wait for us, if I remember right.
Say that again.
No, that's okay. I think that there was a spot that we had talked about maybe having her wait for us that was close to where we were headed, that wouldn't necessarily be up here at the top of the stairwell.
She takes a look at her maps and says there might be a couple of spots. There is another one of those large cathedral locations that is fairly close to the stairwell, as well as a couple other areas nearby that she could probably set up camp and kind of wait and hang out. Unless you want her to just travel with you through into the and work on mapping the route you guys take.
I mean, for me, I'd still like to have her with us to map because it helps her also to increase the knowledge for our allies, the deep gnomes.
Okay.
So, I mean, as long as she's willing to go with us, but by the same token, I don't want to bring her into our encounters and put her into unnecessary danger either.
Yes. If you're willing, brave little one, to come with us again, we'd be more than happy to have you. We do want to keep you safe. You don't need to come with us into the depths of the tentacle face people's city, but your map making and your directions are invaluable to us.
Well, you guys have seemed pretty worthwhile so far, and be honest, I think after the last one, I think I'd feel safer a little closer with y'all. And I granted, yeah, if things get kind of hairy, I'm gonna probably duck and hide and whatnot unless you need me. But I've got some supplies and whatnot in case you need it.
Excellent. I reach my hand out to shake. Do like the Beastmaster forearm shake. I never know what to call that. I shake your forearm. That sounds weird.
So the guy going, "Whoa."
I remember hearing somewhere there was a debate on that. I can't remember where I heard it.
We need a name for it. Come on. Anyway. Yes. Excellent. All right. Hike my pack. Make eye contact with all my party members. Make sure they're ready.
Shrag tilts his head back and like lifts his hat up so you can do that.
Cat or
She decided to grace me with her presence.
oh, yeah, it's cat. Alrighty, so you guys start your descent down, which you've done before. So it's a combination of floating and spelunking as the spiral staircase kind of winds down, with half of it being collapsed. So there's different spots you have to come down, readjust, and descend again. And you come down to the bottom. You remember there was one entrance to the south that led south, that led to where the Illithid were. There's another entrance that is kind of northwest. And as you pass through that entrance, you come along the main path, which is again about 20 feet wide by 20 feet high, semi kind of circular. You kind of see that the stone's been somewhat worked, but a lot of it is still kind of natural. And things have just gotten a little rough with the last 1,000 years of just sedimentary kind of moisture and stalagmites, stalactites starting to reap. As you're coming through, the path kind of forks. Going with the path forks, and you're kind of left with either going left or going right into some large kind of warehouse type of district again.
Just want to listen, make sure that we're not coming up on anything moving around.
Go ahead and roll a perception.
Ooh, natural 18.
It's kind of eerily quiet.
Okay.
Hasn't been a whole lot of activity of recent that you can hear. You hear a little bit of, there's only tiny little bit of scuttering. Like you might hear like one thing kind of skitter, and it's really far out.
Okay. There's definitely movement down here, but it's out of distance. I think we're all right.
So I'll probably get Nat to sort of scout ahead, maybe 100 feet or so, just sort of float a little bit higher up and just sort of keep an eye on things. And I'll just be like constant contact with her to keep an eye out.
All right, which direction do you want to send her? You're currently at a T intersection. As you look left or right, you see that the paths open up into larger caverns.
What do you think, guys? You go left or right? Cabalus, where do you think we should go for the quickest route to get to the drow face?
She looks at her map and says, anything that leads in kind of a northwesterly. This is kind of the extent of where my map goes. I know that they're in that direction, and both paths could lead that way, depending on which way you want to go.
Well, if she wants us to go northwest, maybe we need to take the left fork instead of going right, which is east.
Okay.
Seems reasonable.
I'll go up.
Come out and take the left fork. Goes a little southwesterly. It opens up into a large cavern. With a couple of entrances, one leading directly north, and one continuing west.
Shall we go north this time? North? Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of space is this?
It's a large, open, kind of like a warehouse or a meeting room type space. You've gotten pretty used to understanding like there's some areas that are more of a residential feel. This one feels more like kind of like an industrial type of space.
I'll ask Cabalus how far she thinks it is to the drow place where they think they're holed up.
She kind of looks and goes, they've got to at least we've seen them about, but I think they're probably more, probably a good 1,500 feet. As the lizard crawls northwest.
It's the intellect of our scuttles.
So
I was trying to think of something. It's like Sibyl probably wouldn't know about as far as the analogy for a crow flies, but let's go with the lizard crawls.
I like that. So 2 or 3 more of these spaces.
Probably.
Okay.
It's weird how there's not a whole lot here, but I also know that more to the west of where they are is where the lake is, and that's where the Koatoa are, and there have been a lot of fighting from what we can tell between the
Koatoa
Dark Elves and the
drow?
Koatoa.
I wonder if we could use that to our advantage somehow.
So if Cabalus is thinking that north or northwest is the best route to go, then yeah, I'll agree. We should probably go north then.
Okay. So moving up in the northern area, you get into another extremely large kind of open space, almost like there's some kind of industrial, like maybe like almost like a smithing area or some type of large facility. And this could be anywhere from like grain storage, food storage, to weapons manufacture and smithing and smelting. But again, 1,000 years of time, it's kind of hard to kind of make a good sense of it. But just the fact that this is such a large space.
Any indications of recent activity through the area?
What kind of recent activity are you looking for?
Tracks or any kind of evidence of recent movement through the area?
Okay, go ahead and roll a survival check.
And do we hear anything?
Roll a perception check.
Survival will be a 17.
There are tracks back and forth. through the area. Some of them are bestial, and some of them appear to be humanoid shape in boots. Not too much different than your own feet. Others look to be kind of more bipedal but bestial, kind of like a webbed foot. So, and it's kind of a variety of directions in the dust.
So from the knowledge of the parties involved, more than likely Koto and Drow.
Yes, Koto, Drow, Umber Hulk, all several different things I've been wandering through.
Umber Hulk. We've encountered those little beasties before.
So we like those.
Obsidian, what'd you get on your perception?
14.
14? With a 14, things are kind of quiet. Not really cluing into anything in particular. But you're definitely trying to keep your senses aware. It seems like it's really kind of quiet right now.
I don't want to go too far off the beaten path, but since I'm interested in metalworking and stuff, can I just look around to see if there's any remnants of like an ancient metalworking tool that I can just pick up with me?
Sure. Go ahead and roll an investigation. Cablis is trying to do her best to take little notes and start jotting down the area you're in.
I also got a 14.
Anything that was salvageable has been taken.
Okay.
But you could see a couple of places where it looks like we'll go ahead and call this a forge area. There's several little alcoves lining the area that are about like 50 feet in diameter type of deal, and with various stuff. So a lot of the stone that's in place for these forges is there, but any of the tools or anything that would be reasonable to carry has long since been grabbed and taken. So
Okay. So I'll just look at the forge kind of wistfully, and you just see like a happy smile go across her face. Continues walking. I bet this place was magnificent when these forges were lit.
Sorry. This is frustrating. It's not you guys. Okay. It's my son had to come home from work early last night. Just took him in, and he popped positive for COVID.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And it's like,
oh no!
Oh, genius.
And he's too young to get a vaccine yet, isn't he?
No, he's 18.
Oh. Okay.
He's just been dragging his feet about getting his vaccine.
Ah. Get vaccinated.
So those feet are going to be getting slapped at this rate, I think.
Oh,
right?
That's a bummer.
I'm waiting on word for when they announce the Pfizer is available for the adolescents before I send my daughter in, because supposedly next week they're going to say they're going to approve it for 12 to 15-year-olds. So
cool.
We shall see what happens. Anyway, sorry to break the immersion. Back into it. You guys continue along. There's a path that leads north, and which crosses into another district. And you guys come up to what appears to be a kind of 5-way intersection. You've seen this kind of intersection before. Cablis is trying to do her best with you guys as assistants, kind of document as much as you can. But this looks like a large kind of residential area. Various different little homes and structures for residential. The center of which is this again 5-way intersection. There's a path that leads southwest, but it looks like that doesn't go very far from what she can kind of get a sense of. Path that leads more west, and a path that leads north. So you kind of have two paths that are very close, and kind of in a vague thing, continuing with a northerly approach. Or actually, I'll leave this to y'all. You have again north and kind of a northwest, so it's either one. So which way does the group want to go?
Well, she said they were more northwest, so probably that would be.
We went north last time. Let's go northwest this time.
Okay. Making the loop. Coming up. Crossing into another district. Excuse me. All right, coming into the next district, you see another one of these large open areas. That looks like it was again kind of probably another large open industrial type area, long since barren, with a single path that leads kind of north into the next space. So, anything you wish to do in this large room before you move into the next area?
Same thing as last time, just kind of check and see for activity tracks, try to figure out
Do we hear anything?
what are we dealing with.
Okay. Right.
Go ahead and roll a new set of survival, investigation,
15.
Perception.
15 survival.
15 survival. There's definitely seeing tracks in the area. Again, the same ones, the various Kotoa ones, the Drow ones. More of the, probably a little bit. It's probably kind of a mix, but it looks like there's more Drow footprints than there are Kotoa.
So it's been accessed a little more heavily by the Drow.
Yeah. All right.
You doing okay, Anarion? I know how you feel about these guys.
We'll see when we find them.
Obsidian.
Okay.
29 perception.
Jeez. All the
You're hearing
perception.
some distant echoes down the cavern to the north. It's really kind of faint, but it's kind of a mix. It's not so much you hear conversation, more like, but you hear just kind of like a steady kind of blink and you miss it kind of breathing of a creature. Really, really faint. Best guess is it's probably about 400 or 500 feet off, but you're just catching it. Enough to give you a direction.
Is it identifiable in terms of what type of creature breathing?
At this distance, no. But considering how quiet things have been so far, the fact that you're able to pick up on it is enough to kind of give you a direction to lead you up.
Yeah, guys, we're getting close. I hear faint breathing up ahead. Very, very faint.
So strange how these caverns just seem to eat the sound. It makes you wonder what could cause a society that could build all of this to crumble. We don't even know where they went at this point. Anyway, so north?
I think.
Should we talk strategy before since we're getting close?
Yeah, I think now that we're getting close, I think we need to get into stealth mode instead of travel mode.
We can just flip a coin.
Obsidian, can you give me a D100 roll?
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, who?
D100 percentile.
For me?
Obsidian.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't.
You're the one who you had the 29 perception.
Oh well, here, what the hell? D100.
I'm scared.
13.
Whoa.
Alrighty. As you're kind of tracking in and listening to this sound, and you get close to where the next path is, it's a narrower kind of 10 foot by 10 foot kind of tunnel. As you kind of stand there and listen to get a direction on that, you also very faintly hear footsteps.
Same direction.
Down the hallway into the next room, yes.
I'll hold my fist up for a stop.
We stop.
I'll do footsteps and I'll point in the direction without saying a word, just in hand movements.
Oh man. Let's see here.
Can I get an idea of how close? Obviously, they're closer than 400 feet.
No, they're closer. They're probably about 100, 150 feet.
One set, multiple sets.
You hear a couple of sets. Probably best guess, probably 3 sets of footprints. And I mean, it's very. I mean, you happen to catch it as like one of them inadvertently kicked a rock. I mean, it's just it was enough to kind of. All right.
I could I like lift up my bag of the fuzzy spheres. I could send one of them out to distract.
Matt. I wonder if we should send Matt.
Oh.
Because then Shraggy can see.
Question, Johnny. When you're looking through Nat's eyes, is it like a familiar where you go deaf and blind? Oh man, that's awesome.
I get to use all of my senses.
Okay.
Well, as much sense as Shrag has, but yeah.
It's all like somebody who has a TV on one side and a TV on the other and trying to watch them both at the same time.
Or like a streamer with multiple screens.
Yeah. Or like somebody like me who's too ADD and watches a movie while watching things on YouTube.
Seems
I
legit.
tell them either that or I can go invisible and take a peek with Nat, like we did below.
Yeah, that worked last time. That worked really well because then she
worked really well.
She can dip out and distract if needs be.
Yeah, and you can see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. So I'll cast invisibility.
Okay. Or as I know,
I'll put Nat on my shoulder.
There are
put Nat on my shoulder.
There has no wild magics on the deck.
Thank God. So have her sit on my shoulder, cast invisibility, and we'll start stealthing ahead. So I know stealth check.
All right.
Ooh.
24 for stealth. I'm also wearing boots of elven kind.
I know.
So they make no sound.
I think we said they make no sense. That's good. Like, what?
They make no sense.
That works. All right, so you creep into this next room with Nat on you, and you're kind of going. As you kind of go in, you look in and you see there's a large room, space, there's a little bit of debris, but it's fairly open because again, this is one of those industrial type areas. Like this particular one looks like it's some type of storage area, like a big warehouse. And
Empty Costco.
Again?
Empty Costco. Times 10.
Probably a little bit bigger. Probably a little bit bigger.
Like the Costco for Idiocracy.
Yeah, I would picture maybe something like, similar to like maybe an empty 747 hangar.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Huge open area. Ceiling of course is relatively high, but it's huge kind of open area. Right? So you step in, and as you kind of look, you see a trio of Dark Elves walking.
In my direction, in the other direction, which way are they headed?
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
16.
They appear to be on patrol. As you look about, you see there's a path that leads east and a path that leads north. Judging from coming in, and you see them, they had come out of the northern one, and they're tracking toward the eastern kind of tunnel. Words and things. Why? Anyways.
So I'm gonna tap Nat carefully, or obviously she's incorporeal, but get her attention and make sure that I'm pointing in that direction Oh, she can't see my finger anyway, so that doesn't matter.
Because you're invisible.
No, but Nat would be if Nat's sitting there with you on your shoulder and
She
you're
would
both
see it.
invisible, then she's seeing this too and relaying it back. So
Okay.
as you and you're stealthing and invisible, you get up there. So when they're in your line of sight, you're kind of watching them along your line of sight.
Are there any rocks around me?
Small ones, bits and pieces of ones. Is there some of them softball size, some of them baseball size? I mean, the area is fairly
small.
open.
Okay, super small.
There would be a few about, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to, as they pass me, I'm not going to make this mistake again. I want to pick up a rock and I want to throw it in the direction of the party. But I want them to be by me so they can't see where it's come from.
Fair. So you throw the rock. And they don't notice.
You threw it too carefully.
Too small a rock. Are they still within sight of me?
Yeah, they're getting to be about 45 feet from you now, unless you're following them.
Okay. No. I'm going to pick up a slightly bigger rock and do the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, they didn't catch that. They didn't hear that one either.
And these guys are not perceptive.
Try throwing it at them.
Hey, I'm rolling perception checks too, man. I got a 6 and a 4.
These guys have such bad perception. We should have just strolled right in. They would have never seen
I
it.
think exactly.
We should report them when we get there.
Exactly. Your people suck.
I mean, it's group perception. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's so funny.
But I imagine this is pretty comical. Shadow's sitting there. It's like,
Nat throws her tiny little arms up.
Yeah, she just like what?
Nat.
oh, actually, that's a
Nat.
good point. Will and Anari, you stand there with Shrag. You see Shrag all of a sudden just put his head in his hand.
Nat.
That bad, huh?
What? Nat, fireball on the back wall. I whispered, Nat, firebolt on the back wall. Towards the party. If they don't hear that, then we'll keep going.
So Nat does like a little sort of whoya, whoya, like that. And she will fire off a firebolt.
Oh yeah, that got their attention. The bright light,
There we
all
go.
of a sudden, of a fireball hitting. Hits
Firebolt.
the firebolt hitting the wall toward the path. It kind of goes in there, and they turn
So,
and they start walking toward that pathway. After a little while, Obsidian watching. You're now behind them as the three of them are walking through the tunnel toward Will, Anari, and Shragnaz. Will, Anari,
So when-
Shragnaz, what are you doing? Shrag, you know this is coming because you're seeing this through Nat's eyes in picture-in-picture mode.
I'm going to give them a heads up and go, guys, there was a plan. He tried. If we did something a bit different, they're now coming this way. You might want to get ready or hide or something.
How many?
3.
the 3.
I will attempt to hide.
I was going to say, I was going to ask Shrag so we know how many's coming.
Yeah. We'll turn
and then
the three.
I'll draw my rapier then and be prepared.
Alrighty.
So,
So this area that you guys are in is one of those is kind of a very long space with various little alcoves that are in there. So there's places to kind of duck and hide and get into cover if you want to go ahead and roll stealth checks.
God, I'm so glad I have advantage.
So that is 23.
Well,
Frack. Second one was a 1, so I have to go with my first one, which was a 6.
wait a minute.
Plus
wait a minute.
4.
Aren't you a half? You're not a halfling.
Nope.
That's the different person.
I'm just a short human. Yeah, that's a 10 with advantage.
Okay. Anari?
So with advantage, the first roll was a 17 on the die. The second was a nat 20 on the die. So I've got a 32.
You sucked all my luck out of the air.
So, Will, you're sitting there looking for a spot and you're trying to find it like a little kid in that first game of hide and seek. You look and, of course, Dragon and Ari are like gone.
Guys,
You find a good spot. What are you guys doing to prepare for the ambush? You're hiding.
Yeah.
there's
3
coming towards us.
They're coming towards you. Based on that, you've got a few more moments before they're walking in. A few minutes before they're walking into this large area.
Okay.
It's not particularly bright down here, is it?
No, other than some lichen and maybe some random crystals, either in various colors, it's pitch black. So there's a very low kind of light.
I'm just going to lay down some ball bearings.
Oh, excellent
Yeah.
idea.
I think based on where they're going to come through to, I'm not going to make it too deep because it don't affect us, but I'm going to sort of like shake out the ball bearings where they're going to walk through from, so that's going to distract them when they get here, so it should give us definitely the drop on them.
Okay, so you're putting some ball bearings in the area where to
we're
make that
expecting them to
difficult
come
terrain
through.
for them. Okay.
Yep. And then what we'll do is
Nice.
hopefully when they get distracted by that and they're more worried about the footing and stuff, we can then spring a trap on them.
Okay. Will, what about you?
I am preparing a guiding bolt.
Okay. Anari?
Just
what about
sitting
you?
there like,
Just getting my rapier ready and going to try to take a surprise attack if I can.
Okay. You guys are-
Anarion, so I'm going to say, Anarion, you're going to be a bit surprised because Shrag's actually going to come like sidle next to you and he's going to slide his rapier out as well and be sat there all hunched upright and running with you.
Yep. And you're within movement distance of the entryway. So just a bit prepping up and all of that. Obsidian, what are you doing as you're following behind them?
So I very quietly take my short sword
Okay.
and I'm ready whenever, because I know what they're gonna spring a trap. So as soon as they do, I want to basically take and stab one through the back of the neck.
Okay. All right.
can I also add to my plan that I'm going to guiding bolt as I close the distance to them? Because I know that Anarion and Obsidian do better when there's somebody else engaged. with
Well, I've
bad
got
guys.
Nat, so
Okay.
Does she count
No.
for sneak attack?
No, because she's incorporeal.
Oh.
Therefore, she won't count for it.
yeah, but I'd get I would assume I'd get advantage on the roll though because I'm behind them and it's
It'd be a
really a sneak
surprise.
surprise
Yeah.
attack. So I would
It's
still get
actually
sneak
sneaky
at that point.
surprise.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm still gonna close the distance because there's still gonna be two others.
Okay. So after a moment, you're all waiting there. You see the dark elves step out of the passageway into the large space proper. First thing, ball bearings. So that is going to be dex check because they might slip on those.
Come on.
Well, first a
please.
perception to see if they notice them. Yeah, they would notice. They would notice. So now it's a dex. Yeah. So they come out and they hit the ball bearings, and they slow their pace and kind of piece their way through. So held actions get to go off as far as ranged things. So Will, go ahead and do your guiding bolt. There are 3 of them in kind of a standard triangle wedge type of thing, with the lead one being the point, being the tip, and the 2 others flanking.
What's the distance?
The distance is about 20 feet from the 3 of you as they step out.
Okay, I will go for the point.
Okay.
That is I can't do math. 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
Sweet. Terrible. 10 radiant damage.
All right, 10 radiant damage on the lead one. He is now glowing.
And I run up to him.
All right, you run up, and we'll go ahead and roll a quick initiative for this.
Advantage because of my second shield.
That was deliberate. That was so that it allows John to act before me. That was calculated.
You're so kind, Johnny.
All righty.
Taking a 6.
So, Obsidian, what's your initiative?
Are you doing turn order in roll 20 or no?
No, this one's going to be right here on Notepad because it's a quick little patrol.
Got it.
So I didn't make maps for roll.
Yeah, no worries.
I wanted to have.
I got a nat 1 + 4 for 5.
5.
Wow. Nat 1.
Dice jail.
All right. Will?
That was D&D Beyond.
Oh, 17. D&D Beyond needs to make a dice jail animation.
All right, Shrag.
6.
They do.
So it was calculated. It was designed to be slower than the others.
And Anari.
Intentional 6.
So mine on the die was a 16, so that puts me at a 20 dirty.
Yeah.
Right. All right, top of the order. Anari first. Will has rushed in. She's now melee with the 3 Dark Elves.
So
the one in the center of the trio has got a faint glow to him. So you have advantage on an attack to him. The other, they're getting ready to react.
So since I have advantage on him, I'll do both of my attacks on him.
Okay.
And that is going to be a 17 on the die and a 19 on the die. So that's going to be a 26, 27 to hit.
Both hit.
That is going to be... Oh, shoot. I forgot to do the enmity thing first. That's all right. 8, 6, and sneak attack. 5. So it's going to be 8, 5, and 6. That will be 16 points of piercing damage on the first and 15 on the second.
Nice.
So Will does her guiding bolt, flashes the guy. He starts to blow a little bit. She runs up. You run up, stab, and that drow just drops.
Trying to give Anarion a high five.
All right, Will, you're up next.
Oh. I'm already up.
Not used to that, are you?
Did Shaggy not get a surprise round as well?
Huh?
I don't think any of us got a surprise round except Will's guiding bolt.
Yeah, you guys didn't. You didn't tell me you prepped anything ranged. You prepped a lot of close. You were going to rush up.
I'm right behind him.
Far right behind.
I
him.
was close up.
Okay,
Will,
so me.
Will, what are you going to do?
Okay. So I just guiding bolted him, ran up.
Yeah, that one you guiding bolt, he's done. He's dead.
Okay.
You just got
All
one
right.
on, you got two, he's collapsed. You got one on the left, one on the right as you rush up. So you tell me which one you went toward and tell me what you're going to do.
I'm going to go for the one that is now, if I was facing the triangle, on the left.
Okay, so you go to the guy on the left.
And I just turn and like Buddha palm him in the chest, and a little bit of light comes out from my hand, and I don't actually touch him, but the light blasts into his chest. And I am doing Path to the Grave on him. So he will have vulnerability to the next attack that hits him.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Alrighty. Next is the two of them.
Oh, sorry. I just realized I have a bonus action spell. Can I use that?
Sure can.
Okay. I will then just lift my hand above my head, and like kind of greenish, blackish sparkles fall around me, and I cast Spirit Shroud.
What does that do?
You call forth spirits of the dead, which flit around you for the spell's duration. The spirits are intangible and invulnerable. Until the spell ends, any attack you make deals 1d8 extra damage when you hit a creature within 10 feet of you. The damage is radiant, necrotic, or cold, and I'm going with necrotic. Any creature that takes this damage can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn. In addition, any creature of your choice that you can see that starts its turn within 10 feet of you has its speed reduced by 10 until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
So that should be both of those bad guys.
So their speed is reduced.
Reduced by 10 until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
And that effect does not happen again despite the duration of the spell, which is a concentration up to 1 minute.
Gotcha. Alrighty. So, let's see. They're each going to make short sword attacks, one against Will and one against Anari. So let's go with the one against Will first. Or we'll go with Anari first because he was top of the initiative. All right. Yeah, that's going to suck. That's going to be a 9 to hit with your short sword.
Yeah, no.
That's the guy on the right of the three of them. And now the one going for Will.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to be an 8 to hit for Will.
That doesn't hit. Sorry.
Alrighty, and that pretty much kills their turns because you're all up in their face. And Shrag is up. Obsidian's on deck.
Okay, we'll see when I get a chance to charge in the surprise round. I will just stay at range and chuck a fireball them. At the one nearest to me, and that'll be a 12 to hit.
12 does not hit, unfortunately. 12 does not hit, unfortunately.
Cool. Okay, that's me done.
Obsidian.
So seeing Anarion walk up and drop the one with one shot and seeing those two miss, I'm going to basically sheath my sword, back up 20 feet, and say something to them to try and distract them so that they turn around and maybe give them a better advantage. So I'm not going to burn my invisibility on these guys who we're going to easily take. So.
Okay.
I like it.
So what do you tell them?
I'm basically gonna say you guys are as bad a group as the Drider we just faced. Who taught you all how to fight?
Hold on 1 second. Alrighty, so you just taunt them and try to get them to turn around, and they do get distracted slightly as they both try to look to see where the voice came from. Brings us back up to the top with Anari.
Good move.
All right. Which one's closest to me? Left or right?
You can technically reach either one, but there's one in front of Will that she just did something to, and then there's one that on your as you're looking at them, the one on the left, she did something too, and then there's one on the right which, as it doesn't appear to have, is just kind of which Shrag just is that the one Shrag shot the firebolt at?
Yeah, it was the one nearest to me. Yep.
So the one that hasn't been hit yet, I'll attack it.
Okay.
So first attack is going to be a 22 to hit.
Yep.
The second one is going to be a 21.
Both hit.
Okay. Damage on the first attack is 22. Damage on the second will be 15.
Dead.
Oh.
Leaves just the one that Will did her fist her open palm strike against.
Okay.
I'm going to whisper pathetic.
Which brings us to Will.
Okay, so my hand is still kind of outstretched, and I just turn it and snap and cast Toll the Dead on this guy. So
Okay.
that is a wisdom saving throw. DC 17.
Fails with a natural 1. So go and roll
Sweet.
the d12 damage.
Yes. That's not a 12.
Plus your extra damage for your shroud.
My D8. Okay, so that's a 18, 19. Okay, sorry, actually 18 radiant damage, 1 necrotic damage.
Nice.
Thank you for the reminder.
He is not in a good place. You hit him, and you see he starts glowing a bit, and then there's the little bit of tendrils of necrotic energy that kind of wrap up around him.
And all that would have been doubled because of the vulnerability, right?
Yes, it would actually. So he would have died. He drops and is now done.
I just go, Obsidian, I know you're here somewhere.
I'm right here. And I'll kick one of the ball bearings so they can see it move.
Aha. I just like hold my hand out for a high five. Oh, that's so cool. Well, shall we continue?
Does that count as an unarmed strike to make the invisibility disappear?
No.
No, I'll let it go.
A high five is a free action.
Alrighty, so dispatch the 3 drow. They're right there on the ground. Definitely some worse for wear.
Search them. What do they have on them?
Standard stuff. Hand crossbows with about 10 bolts each. The short sword, floffies, chain shirts. They look pretty. That's pretty much what you see on them.
As they finish searching them, I just drag them off to the side and kind of like try to hide their bodies in like a shady alcove somewhere so they're not just in the middle of the walkway.
Okay. So you go and you kind of move their bodies off to the side.
Just have interest. What's the terrain like around here, Scoob? Is there any like kind of softer ground, or is it all just hard rock?
It's kind of a hard pack. There's some places where you might be able to try to dig up, but it'll be a little bit slow going.
All I was thinking was actually using the mold earth to actually effectively just like meld them into the earth and just push them into the stone to hide the bodies. Would there be anywhere suitable for doing that?
Yeah, I mean, you could totally do that. It's been where there would be some pockets you could do that. So you could totally make some shallow graves to put them in.
So like you just like until they can't see anymore, and then like leave the ground looking undisturbed.
But since
Cool.
I'm invisible while they're doing that, I'm going to kind of be walking forward to see what's
Okay.
going on. Because I know Shraggy can still see what's going on. So I'm just going to
I
go ahead
dragged
and start
this-
walking ahead.
So
I dragged the
you're
second body
making use
over.
of that. You're making
dragged
use of
the
that
sec-
time you have for invisibility. So you go to walk forward, and as you walk forward, come back to the area where you saw them, and you saw the and you have the two tunnels, the one going east and the one going north, the one that they came out of, and the direction it looked like they were going.
So north.
So which direction do you want to go? I can't hear you.
You're muted, love.
Oops, sorry. I'm heading north.
Yep.
All right. All right. So as you head north into this next cavern area, following in, you're looking off to the sides. You see various alcoves that reach out that look like residential stuff. When you get to what is going to be the big center kind of intersection area, you know that there's go and roll a perception check.
23.
All right. You notice a couple of there. You notice off to the side. There's a off of the main path. There's a kind of an alcove. There's a path that there's another path that kind of leads out, and here's some movement, very faint. The breathing you are hearing is more kind of in that direction. So you go and try to start looking, and after a little bit you see the path kind of turns and opens up into another area, and you see a low wall. It's roughly 3 feet high. Behind the wall you see 4 dark elves and an umber hulk.
Do the 4 dark elves look like the 3 we just took out?
2 of them do.
And what do the other 2 look like?
The other 2 have shields and look like they're a little. They look more like a veteran type of fighter compared to the ones you just took out.
How far am I from them?
As you creep into that, as invisible, you would creep up. You would get to the point. As you come down the pathway, there's a spot where you see a lot of gravel on the path, and you know that if you walked on that, you would make noise.
All right.
Because you would kick it around, even though your steps wouldn't make noise, you would kick it. So you continue down, and then you find and come down to the end where the path kind of does a 90-degree, and you looking through. It's right at the edge of your vision, but you stand there long enough to see the four dark elves pass by in just kind of casual kind of pacing, and the umber hulk has been pretty much a fixed point, sitting against the wall as if it's waiting.
If I get on the broom, can I get past this area without them hearing me?
It's roughly 10. The ceiling's only about 10 feet, so it'd be.
So are they basically blocking the path then?
The wall, the pathway is 10 feet by 10 feet. As you come out, it opens up into a slightly kind of larger room with, again, only about a 10-foot ceiling, and the wall kind of would break the line of sight across the room because it runs north south along there, cutting the room in half, and again 3 foot high. It's kind of a natural look, like almost like when you picture like K barriers at a guard post. That's pretty much what's set up.
If I whisper to Nat can I get the idea that I could talk low enough where they wouldn't hear me?
It's possible, yeah. At that distance, you back away a little bit to where you're not kind of you'd be able to have a conversation with Nat in a very whispered tone.
Okay.
I
Well,
would
I'm
just
not
say
gonna
roll a stealth check for that.
Yeah. I'm not going to back away. Since they can't see me anyway, I'm going to turn around because I don't want to accidentally trip or step on something. I want to see where I'm going. So I'm going to turn around and walk back about 10 feet.
Well, that's again, it kind of curls up. You have the two paths that lead out. So it's just, you didn't walk to where the gravel was.
Right.
Like you can kind of see there's a lot of loose debris along the path toward these two portals.
Stealth's only a 19.
Pretty good at that distance.
Okay. So I whisper to Nat and I say, tell Shraggy this would be a perfect spot for a fireball.
Fireball. Okay.
She'll look at you with like a raised eyebrow, like, okay. Like looks as used to sort of like, she can't actually see you. She's going to give you that look of, so like, you really want this right now? Like, are you sure?
As long as the party is heading this direction, so that you and I aren't up here by ourselves, then absolutely.
Okay, so Shraggy at the other end of the line will basically very quietly say to the guys, wants us to move up. I'm prepared for a shock, but get ready to move quickly. So we'll kind of like start pushing towards it, and then basically I'll just like through Nat, and then she'll like wave her hands, and she'll cast a fireball.
All right. So
How far are we away from Obsidian at this point?
that is a good question. So we'll freeze on what Obsidian is doing. Come back to the three of you. Taking care of the body, and you're following up the path. You'd come into the space that has the space where Obsidian first saw, and using with Shrag guiding you through because of his vision with Nat. Coming up north, you'd be probably, depending how long, probably about 100 feet behind Obsidian. And after a little bit, getting that, you kind of step up your pace just a little bit quietly, and soon the four of you are all kind of in the same kind of area to kind of make your call. That's where that way.
I was going to say, I would suggest that we be a lot closer before the fireball gets sent.
Yeah.
If I know that's the plan.
Which is why we're going to the map.
Aha! Wow.
Going to the map.
To the map.
I have it blocked off for a moment where you guys sit there and give me just a second. I'll put that up.
Okay, I will be right back.
So, Obsidian, if taking a look at where you're looking at the map, the place I'm pinging right here, that's where some of the loose gravel kind of starts, and you see it does a 90, so you wouldn't be able to see that direction. But at the bottom, where I'm pinging now, is where you kind of had a line of sight with the wall, with part of the wall. You could see it extending north, and while you were watching, you knew that the draw had walked past. Currently, right now, there's one kind of who's kind of leaning against the wall, here, kind of bored. You see the Umber Hall. you can hear the Umber Hulk in the back with a gnat with Shrag seeing through a gnat's eyes probably gets a little bit better view. But any stepping into this area is a lot of loose gravel.
Right. So, question for you. I have 60 feet of dark vision, but can't even see 30 on the map. Is there a reason for that?
Yes.
Thank you. So so 4 of them walked by, and there's only 1 here.
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. You can hear them. You can kind of hear them walking back. A couple of them walking at this moment. They've all kind of settled into a kind of a standing.
Okay. So obviously, I would want to be in the best position for Nat possible to try and get as many of them in one grouping as possible, having seen them do a fireball plenty of times.
Yeah.
You're very aware of what that radius is.
Yeah, that's true. Having cast a couple myself, not knowing the spell.
So I'm trying to figure out what Nat can see from where she is to be able to see the ideal areas to drop the fireball.
As incorporeal, she could even float farther forward to look in, could she not?
She gives off a 10-foot faint glow, though, so she's not completely not there, as it
Well,
were.
Would she? Because she got turned. Well, yeah, when she leaves me, she would become uninvisible. She'd be visible then.
Yeah, right now where she's kind of in that aura of you. The minute she leaves to go any more forward, she would be giving off a low light.
Where did you say the loose gravel was?
There's loose gravel at the beginning of each of the 2 paths that lead toward where the Dark Elves and the Umber Hulk are.
Okay.
Both pathways would be, looking at it, the gravel would be very, very loose and kind of moving around. You get the sense that this was laid here again as an early set up as
early
an
warning.
Early warning.
Yeah. Kind of like we did with the ball bearings.
You also know some other things to notice. You also notice that there are crystal growths, but all the ones you're seeing in this area are all blue.
Instead of purple.
Where are we in relation to Obsidian? How far back are we now?
Obsidian down the path. You would see this pathway right here, which would put you about 50 feet behind Obsidian, because he's standing there watching.
We can move up to that space.
Yep. This right here is where the gravel's starting on the first path, and then you see Obsidian here. There's
where Obsidian is where it starts on the second?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to wait, and I'll ask Shrag, are we going to wait to get together? Are we moving to Obsidian? What's our plan?
He said to basically chuck the fireball and us to get closer. He didn't say anything about being on top of him. He wants to stay stealthy still. Just wanted giving them away.
Okay. So I'll hold position then where I am.
Okay. Will, what are you doing to prep?
Actually, you know what? Can I adjust that? Amend that? You said we're about 50 feet away?
Your position right there, you're about 50 feet from Obsidian. You
All
can see the pathway that's leading. You see one pathway that's leading, and then you see Obsidian at the end of the hallway.
I think that I would probably be a little more comfortable if I were a little closer, just in case I need to help him.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to move to within 30. Plus, that gives me the opportunity to watch these other entrances.
Okay.
and watch his back.
Okay.
I can see the pings happening on the map, but I don't see anything else. I do have my goggles of night on, so I should have 30 feet of dark vision.
Graduates.
Oh yeah, only 30, I wish.
Really? I thought the goggles of night were.
Yeah, I think they are only
Yeah.
30.
No, goggles are
Mhm.
60.
Are they?
Yeah, goggles are
Really?
60 because if you have goggles and you already have dark vision, you go out to 120. That's why Shrag's got 120
Oh.
dark vision.
Grab
Oh.
your token
Ah.
and move your token.
You've
real
been
quick.
cheating yourself, Will.
I have been.
Will, move your token real quick.
I can't see anything. It's all just black.
Seeing any change?
Mm-mm.
Updated your stuff. Why is yours giving me?
Let me try refreshing mine and see if that helps.
All right. So Shrag is seeing through Nat, getting ready to cast Fireball.
Still can't see anything, sorry. I will prepare a second level guiding bolt for
Okay.
after the fireball goes off, and I will direct it at whoever looks like the strongest after that is over.
Could she be stuck in a wall, Scoob?
Shouldn't be, but
Maybe pull her out into the middle of a hallway or something.
feed everything there. Are things emitting light, so should be able to see.
This break brought to you today by Sirenscape. Download Sirenscape for all of your tabletop sound effects and music.
So, Will, would you be moving forward at all? Where would
Yeah.
where would you end up taking up a position?
Probably near Anarion.
Okay. All right. So you have an entryway that's roughly 10 foot wide, a lot of loose gravel that you could see on the ground. At
Okay.
about 20 feet in front of you, you see a wall where the cavern turns 90 degrees.
Okay.
Looking down, it looks like it turns 90 degrees to the left.
Okay. Feeling a
And-
little unsure of myself for whatever reason. I am following Anarion.
Yeah. And on the right-hand side before the turn, there's a clump of blue crystal.
Oh, cool.
And you saw that coming in here, you've seen, from your position now, you've seen 3 clumps of blue crystal that are emitting a little bit of light.
Could I do an Arcana check or something to see if I think these are different? My Arcana is crap, but
You can certainly, yeah, you can totally do it.
certainly try. That is cocked between an 18 and a 7.
Oof.
So that's not bad, 15.
There's definitely some type of magical presence within these. Some of the ones you've seen, some of the crystals you've seen before have had they all have different magical properties. But the fact this grouping of blue ones that are right here, the fact that they're all kind of matching, and as you kind of look, and do your best to kind of look at the two as you passed by, you kind of see somewhere that's something that's a mix between like either a snow globe or a lightning strike going on inside very faintly as you're kind of watching it. And when the lightning strike goes, it kind of pulses a little bit, but you kind of, and when it's in that snow globe-y type thing, you kind of get an aura of coldness coming off of it.
Cool. I'm like, no, focus. We'll have to check these out later.
Alrighty. So, Obsidian, I believe you are the one to kick off the events.
Not me. I'm waiting for a fireball to make its way.
Oh, right.
All right.
I mean,
so
I'm
Shrag,
gonna
what are you
walk
going to
back.
have Nat do?
I would walk back to that same spot. And
Right
wait.
now, I have you at the entrance. You haven't walked into the gravel at all.
Nope.
So it's all on Nat to move forward to the spot where she can cast the fireball best.
Okay. Just trying some different ideas out. But yeah, okay. I think she will move to probably use that little rocky outcropping bit there. That's a little bit of cover for her.
Okay.
And then seeing from what she can see there, she can try and shift that to make sure she catches that drow there. But then based on the count of having seen 4, which you can only really see 3 from there, I'm going to just try and position the fireball probably about there and let rip.
Alrighty. So we're going to set off the fireball right there.
Yep.
Alrighty.
I was toying with the idea of doing something else, but I think for the moment, having read the descriptions and people moving in, I'm going to stick with the fireball for the moment.
So Nat moves in. There's a clump of mushrooms, little faint glow as she kind of goes in there.
Yep.
Real
And
quick. Let's see. The one of the Dark Elves briefly notices, but before he can do any kind of reaction, the room goes bright as the fireball ignites. Will, Anari, you guys see from the corner, you see that flare up of fiery light as it kind of ricochets around the hallway. Obsidian, you see things get really bright down the hallway as well. And that's where we'll take our mid-session break, because we've been doing this for an hour and a half. So we will do our initiative rolls during the break and come back rolling right into initiative. So thanks for sticking with us so far. Hope you're enjoying this. Give us about 10 minutes and we'll be back. So enjoy the music, enjoy the commercial.
Become inspired by Syrinscape Online Player's massive sound library and weave your tabletop legends by building custom sound sets that bring your immersive world to life. Simply download the app to access the entire Syrinscape archive anytime you need epic sounds. The online player works perfectly alongside any virtual tabletop to bring your players together no matter where they are in the world. Broadcast your custom sound sets in real time with flawless audio quality to give them a game they'll never forget. Get the Syrinscape Online Player today at Sirenscape.com.
Alrighty, and we're back. Do more of the fun things. So we have our initiatives. So that fireball went off, causing all of the creatures caught in the fireball, which were 4 of them, all failed their dexterity saving throws. So they all took the max damage, which was 27 points. All 4 of them are still standing. And we're going to kick off at the top of the initiative order with Obsidian.
So that guy that's, oh God, how far is he? 30 feet from me. Did he get distracted? Is he looking at where the fireball went off?
That's Nat.
I thought there was a guy under Nat.
No, that's a collection of mushrooms that Nat is kind of hiding in.
Got it.
You see a 3-foot wall, and there's a dark elf behind the wall.
3-foot wall, dark elf behind the wall. So if I take out my bow and shoot him,
he's technically got partial cover, but yeah, you can take a shot.
Partial cover with a shot. And since I'm invisible, would I get advantage on the shot?
I mean, it's just the minute you have that ability to grant you advantage. That's if you don't move again, right?
Well, no, just because he can't see me, he wouldn't know the attack's coming. I'm invisible. I didn't do an attack. Nat did.
No, he's reeling from the attack. So yeah, I would say you would definitely he wasn't the one who noticed Nat showing up, so it was one of the other ones who noticed Nat.
Okay, so I'm not going to do any movement yet. I'm going to take out my short bow and one of my +1 arrows and shoot. And at advantage, I rolled a 10 and 12 on the die, so that would be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 will hit.
Okay. So damage is...
What's the minimum damage?
Well, with sneak, I'm at 11, 15. Done. Okay.
You don't have to roll. He was done.
Okay. So now I'm going to, and I understand I'm not going to be super quiet, and I know I'm visible now, but I'm going to try and walk gingerly forward for 30 feet and try and get a look of my surroundings and see what else I can see.
Yeah, it doesn't hinder your movement. It just, if you were to try to stealth through it, it would be it would be disadvantage because there's so much of it.
So kind of where this wall is, I kind of want to be peeking around the corner of that wall, but trying to use it somewhat as cover.
Yeah, that would give you, depending on how you pie the corner, looking about, you see again the 3-foot wall that extends all the way across the room. That's been constructed there. You see behind the wall 3 dark elves that are still standing. 2 of them are kind of smoldering a bit. You see the Umber Hulk that is smoldering a bit, and you see one more and you see the 4th dark elf who's all the way toward the back wall, pulling out, readying his crossbow, getting ready for whatever is going to come next, because he was outside the blast radius of the fireball. You also see there's a set of doors on the north side that lead toward another path. And if you sneak a glance, you can see another set of doors leading south.
Okay. The last question I have, the one that died, is he one of the regular ones or one of the veteran-looking ones?
Couldn't really get a sense of it because him and the other 2 were smoldering, and he took the hit and dropped.
Okay.
So I was like, you lined up that shot and you let it go, and the arrow just right into the headshot. Drops like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, so I'm standing at that corner, did a quick peek around. Now I'm going to pull my head back and end my turn.
Okay. Next up is Will with Anarion deck.
I cannot see anybody where I'm at.
No,
So
you actually have to move. But you
Okay.
know the bright light came from down the hallway, down that
Okay.
pathway.
I will run down the hallway, and the first thing I see will get that guiding bolt that I was holding.
All right. Go ahead and do your movement. It would probably bring you right around the corner and across the way.
Okay, that's 25 and then 30. Do I see anything from here?
Yeah, you carve. Give you an extra. Kind of right there, you can kind of see around.
Okay, cool.
You see
Okay.
as you look around, you see as pieing the corner, you see one dark elf, and as you look around, you then see two more and an umber hulk, and a 3-foot
Okay.
and a 3-foot wall that the dark elves are behind.
Okay, so that's what this
So
line
this would be the
line
first
is here.
target you see. So that would be the one you let off with the guiding bolt.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 27 to hit.
That will hit. Roll damage.
And I did say this was going to be a second level guiding bolt. So let me just double check how many it's going to be. One extra d6, so it's going to be 5. 5d6. Oh, much better than last time. 12 plus 6, 18 radiant damage.
18 radiant. Alrighty. Takes that hit. He's still kind of standing, but he's also glowing.
Okay. That'll be my turn.
All right. And I'll kind of let you dart back behind there because you rushed up, hit, and then be like,
Yes, thank you.
So you have some cover behind that wall. All right.
Okay.
Next up is Anari.
All right, so I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Puts me roughly in that same space, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I will go ahead then and engage this one
Alrighty.
with longbow. 2 attacks, so that is 13 roll. First one is going to be a dirty 20.
That one hits.
The second will be a 16.
That one does not.
Okay. So that's going to be 1d8, 5. And that is going to be 9 points piercing damage. No, that's not right. Yeah, 9 points piercing damage.
Alrighty. Still standing, but not having a good day. Takes that arrow like right in the shoulder, and kind of reels back a bit.
As my bonus action, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on that one.
Alrighty. Ready?
And that'll end my turn.
All right. Next up is this guy. Rushes up, ball. Crouches down behind it. pops up and takes a hand crossbow shot toward Anari. With a 12 to hit. Righty. All right, so that's his movement right there. This one. Come up to the wall here. And duck down behind it. Let's see, what's his... He will make an attempt. He will try and shoot at Obsidian. Obsidian, you got partial cover, so it's a +2 to your AC. For the hit. That comes out to be 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
Oh.
Alrighty. The 5 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh.
It's for the poison that they don't carry. 21.
Right.
You're good. You feel the poison's effect as the dart hits you, and you kind of just will it away.
Takes the bolt out and licks and goes, my favorite.
I've had enough poison in me lately.
His turn. The last drow. Shoot at Anari. 13 to hit. Alrighty, so you manage to duck as another dart flies towards you, and then he just goes to reload. Switch for a Hulk, who starts to pull at his chain, but otherwise does not move. Shragnaz.
Okie dokie. I am going to follow the other guys down. It's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to use my bonus action as a goblo to dash. So that'll then be for the 5, 10, 15. I'm going to move into that mushroom area and take cover with it.
All right.
Then to keep the confusion, Nat is going to cast another fireball there.
Yes, queen.
Okay.
So that is going to be find the right button on the right level one. So that casts that, and that is going to be. I love the sound of those new dice, like thunder rolling. That's another 27 rolled, so that will be a DC 17 Dex for 27 points of damage.
Nice.
Alrighty. The Umber Hulk and 2 of the Drow make their saves. The other one unfortunately does not, and he is crispy fried.
Fried crispy critter.
Best kind of drow.
All right, so other 2 are going to take half that.
Nicely placed.
Alrighty.
So is it Natalia or is it Natalie?
It is Natasha.
Which brings us coming around with Obsidian
Natasha.
next on the initiative. Will, you're on deck.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to take a quick peek. I see 2 drow and a number hulk, right?
Yep, the two drow are ducked up against the wall, and just kind of like you see in a lot of video games, they're kind of peeking out, looking to line up a shot. So
Yeah,
they're now
knowing that's going to be
at least 3/4 covered.
Yeah, knowing that's going to be a lot more difficult shot, and I know obviously from seeing the other arrows go flying, I know they're on the other side. So I'm just going to take aim at I'm going to come out from behind my cover, take aim at the Umber Hulk, and then step back behind my cover.
Okay.
So same short bow plus 1 arrow. Oh, nat 20.
Aha.
Nice.
28.
That's the total damage, or are you still calculating?
No. Oh, no. I mean, I don't get sneak or anything, so this one's going to be easy. It's a 1d6 plus 4. So it's 10 plus 3, 13.
Alrighty. So the arrow hits in, and you hear it kind of screech a little
plus
bit.
1 arrow, so 14.
Hey.
Every hit point count.
Hit that plus 1.
Yeah, so actually would have been a 29 to hit, if that matters.
It's even more.
No, we
it digs even deeper.
We actually looked at it, and it says right in the PHP, nat 20 hits, regardless.
Hey.
Alrighty, so next up is Willhelminia.
Okay, I will go running into the room. My full regular movement, not action. Oh yes, I'm doing this. 1, 2, 3. Now I can see. 4, 5, 6, and this guy's over a 3-foot wall. Yes.
Yep. You're now right up against the 3-foot wall. He's on the other side of a 3-foot wall. It's a lot like that scene out of a lot of those shootout movies where you're both on either sides of the cover.
Yep.
Or police squad,
and I'll
they're on either side of the barrel.
Yes. Yeah, I'll duck down and pop my head up and do another guiding bolt on this one right near me. And since we still have like a full square between us, it won't be at disadvantage, right?
No, it won't be a disadvantage. Okay. It's just you're both considered 3/4 cover.
Oh, he's got 3/4 cover too. Okay, then I'm going to do something else. I am going to do, I'll just kind of lift my hand up over the wall and snap and cast Toll the Dead on him.
Okay.
A whiz save of 17.
Makes it.
Okay. Well.
Alrighty. Anything else you wish to do?
Has anybody taken damage that's within 60 feet of me? No. All right. That's my turn then.
Next up is Anari.
Right. So with my bonus action, I'm going to move the hunter's mark to this one. Sorry, the one that's right in front of Willhelminia.
Okay.
All right. So he now has the hunter's mark. With my movement, 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to vault the wall. Land next to him.
Alrighty.
And then I'm going to attack him twice with Smorepia.
Okay.
The first is going to be a 26 to hit. The second will be a 28.
Both hit. Roll damage.
Damage on the first is going to be 26. Damage on the second is 15.
Jeez, you hit
41.
So hard.
Total?
It's 11, 40, yeah, 41.
Good solid hit. He's still standing, but not having a good... He's got wounds and whatnot all over him now.
So does this look like one of the veterans?
Yes.
All right. Then in that case, I will add the Divine Smite to that hit.
Yes.
Or one of them.
Okay.
Not both of them, just one of them. So I'm going to burn a first level spell, so I only get a 2d8, and that will be an additional 12 points of radiant damage.
Alrighty. Yeah, the hits were so high. He attempts to parry, and it just doesn't work. Alrighty. So
that's it then. And I got to burn a first level spell.
This one to rush back. And in his action, he's going to release the Umber Hulk.
Oh.
Unleash the Hulk.
The dog's off the leash.
Smash.
And
Is that where you go? They turn around and go, we've got a Hulk, and you go, we've got Shraggy.
No,
Hey,
that's
nice.
what we say. We got a gnat.
Yeah, it's fair. She's been doing what I have today.
he spends his action to release the Umber Hulk and the rest of his movement to move toward the door to leave.
Oh, he's
Next
leaving.
one,
Coward.
right here with Nari. Going to drop darkness on you.
Uh-oh.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
It's all right. We have a solution
We
for
have
that.
15 foot. So
We've played this little game with the drow before.
which one is casting darkness?
the one engaged with the one Anari just cut up.
Is there any way I can try to counterspell that?
You can certainly try.
Okay, I will try to counterspell that.
All right. What's the level of the counterspell?
So if it's third level or lower, it automatically fails. If it's fourth or higher, the DC is 10 plus the spell's level.
All right. It is below third level, so it fizzles out.
Yay! Successful counterspell. I love it.
Yay!
I
I was like, oh wait, I have a thing for this.
That level up helped you.
That
Yeah, it did.
ended his turn. The Umber Hulk
Okay.
now charges at Anari and is going to
Buddy.
attack Anari. So, first hit. First claw attack is a 27 to hit
That will hit.
for 8 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Second claw attack is a 10 to hit.
That will miss.
Third attack with its mandibles is an 11 to hit.
That will miss.
Alrighty. This brings us to Shragnaz.
Okie dokie. Right. Let's have Nat keep an eye on that. This guy's legging it, so she's going to use my bonus action to move her. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She's going to be pursuing him. Shrag quite likes the position he's in there at the moment. So I'm actually going to cast. Let's mix this up a little bit. I'm going to cast Snillick's Snowball Swarm, which is then going to be a 10-foot radius. So I'm going to cast that just south of the Umber Hulk and the Veteran, so it won't get the others. Doesn't need to draw a circle for that one. But I'm going to mix it up, and that is going to come through as psychic damage. So this
Okay.
snowball is going to appear, but it's going to bombard them, but they're basically getting brain freeze.
Okay.
So that is a second level spell. Cast that. That is 3d6 psychic damage. It's going to be 8 points psychic damage with a Dex 17 save.
What's the? Tell me the save again. I missed it.
DC 17.
Dex. What?
Yeah. So it's a dexterity saving throw
Okay.
on DC 17,
All right. On the Umber Hulk, the
and the veteran.
is it all three, both veterans, or just the one veteran and the Umber Hulk next to Anari?
Oh, it's only a 10-foot radius now. It's not big enough to get
Okay,
the other
so
one.
the Umber Hulk and that veteran. Gotcha.
Yeah.
30 save on the Umber Hulk. D fails. Fleet Warrior. Dex save. He fails as well.
So yeah, so it'd be like that.
So what's the damage?
That was where's the roll's gone? 8 points of psychic damage.
Nice.
Psychic to him.
Oh, I see what you did there. It's a brain freeze because you changed the damage type to psychic. This pleases me.
Alrighty. Which brings us to Obsidian at the top of the order.
So he's going to step out from his hiding spot. And let's see.
You see Anari got an Umber Hulk on one side and a drow on the other, and you see one drow making his way toward the open door on the north.
Yep. So knowing he's trying to escape, or figuring that's what he's trying to do, the coward, I'm going to cast Entangle.
Ooh.
Centered on him.
Okay.
Entangle, grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square, starting from a point within range. The range is 90 feet. For the duration, these plants turn the ground in the area into difficult terrain. A creature in the area when you cast the spell must succeed on a strength save, which is 14.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping these are dex-based people and don't have strength like the rest of us dex-based people, or be restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends. A creature restrained by the plants can use its action to make a strength check against the DC. On a success, it frees itself.
Okay. Alrighty. Strength saving throw. What's the DC?
14.
Fails.
Entangled.
He is now entangled, and that is a concentration spell for me.
Okay.
And I am going to go ahead, seeing no other threats in the to anywhere behind the Umber Hulk. I'm just going to go ahead and move up behind the cover right in front of me.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to go up to the wall and kind of crouch behind the wall.
Good to go. All right.
And I'm going to move. There we go. Kind of covered right against the two walls. And that will end my turn.
Alrighty. Will, you're up. Anari, you're on deck.
Okay. So I pull out my broom of flying, say the command word, which I'm still not decided what it is. And I will go 15 feet in the air and 15
and hit
feet
your head on the ceiling.
Oh, okay. So I will go. Can I get over the Umber Hulk?
No.
Okay, then I will just go up to the ceiling and see the guy trying to run away and hold out my hand.
Before you do that, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Why?
It's an Umber Hulk, and you're right there in its face.
Oh, I didn't go forward. I just went up.
No, you got to where you could see it.
Okay.
You have to make. Anari's gonna have to make the same thing.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Not if I'm not looking at him. Because I was engaged with the veteran. I wasn't engaged with the Umber Hulk.
Once you turn to the Umber Hulk, you're gonna have to.
I ain't gonna turn to the Umber Hulk.
15.
15. Ooh, just makes it.
Oh. Okay. Then I will reach out my hand and a familiar guiding bolt sphere starts to appear, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I cast a 4th level guiding bolt at him.
Okay.
Big bolt.
Oh, I'm scared.
Who are you hitting?
The one trying to run away.
Oh.
So that is a 24 to hit.
24 will hit. Roll damage.
Okay, so this is going to be a lot of things. 76. 5, 6, 7. Okay. 10, 20, 25, 26 radiant damage.
All right. Still there, fighting with straining against the vines.
Okay. And for the rest of my movement, I'm going to go south 2 spaces and over 1 space. No, I'm going to go north. And then just kind of hover right there.
All right.
Trying to close the distance on this guy.
Okay.
That's my turn. Thank you.
All righty. Anari, you're up.
Okay. Did I notice this one trying to get away?
Well, given your high passive, probably you would have noticed.
All right.
But if you're turning your attention to him, you got the Umber Hulk in between the two, in between you and him, and then the other one. So it's kind of one of those things. Your peripheral and your perception knows the Umber Hulk is there. If you shift your attention away from the drow you were fighting, you will have to make I will force you to make that charisma save.
No, that's fine. I have no problem with that.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do depends on whether I had noticed him or not.
Yes,
So-
you would have. Your passive perception being so high, you are totally aware of all movement going on around.
And then how damaged or injured does the one that I was initially fighting appear?
He's rough. He's definitely bloody. He's got wounds. He's not looking like he'll last much longer against you.
Of the two, which one looks healthier?
The one trying to escape.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do then. Bonus action Misty Step
Okay.
Oh.
so that I don't have to look at Mr. Umber.
All right.
And I'm going to go right here to the door so that he can't get past me.
Well, that
Even
whole
though
area
he's
is
entangled.
that entanglement. So he's kind of restrained there.
Yeah, that's fine. And then since he's restrained, I get advantage on melee attacks against him, right?
Yep.
Nice move.
So then I'm going to attack twice.
Okay.
I won't get Hunter's Mark, but I will get Sneak. So that is going to be a 13 and 18. So 18. So it's going to be a 22 and a 27 to hit.
Both hit. Oh, wait. Said 22 was your lowest?
Yeah.
Yeah. Both hit.
Okay.
So
And damage on the first is going to be 3 and 4. So that's going to be 17 points of piercing on the first.
Alrighty.
And on the second, it is going to be... the second one will be 15 points of piercing damage.
Alrighty. Still standing.
All right.
So close.
Sneak attack only goes on one attack, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a good chunk, though.
That'll be then my turn.
Okie dokie. So, brings us to the drow. This one that's right in front of Anari. He's going to try and drop his darkness now. Let's see. That'd be 15-foot sphere.
The drow casting something.
Yep.
Counterspell.
What's the range on your counter?
Oh, I thought it was the close one. Is it the far one?
It's
It's
the one
the one
over by
against
60
Anari.
feet.
Yeah, it's still within 60 feet.
All right. So you have a second. You still have another counter spell use.
I do.
All right.
My
As it starts to form, it fades away.
Stop it.
Nopey, nope. Nope.
Nope. Nope that right out of here.
Nope.
All right, so that was my
right
first
outta
level
here. I
spell
like it.
slot, but I can still do it a couple times, but I would have to
All
upcast
right.
it.
That finished
That's
his
all right.
move. This remaining
was a good
one
call.
I don't know what he was going to do.
shifts over and will attempt to attack Will. His short with short sword attacks.
Swiping at my feet,
Yeah.
kicking at him. Stop it. Nope.
First attack is an 8 to hit.
That is a miss.
Second attack is an 11 to hit.
Jeez, that is also a miss.
Alrighty. Completes his turn. Next is the Umber Hulk. Going to go over and attempt to attack Anari again.
Over here.
So
I
first
think you
claw
found a new
attack
friend, Anarion.
is a 21 to hit.
21 will hit. Meets it, beats it.
Alrighty.
Oof.
6 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Six.
Second attack, claws, is a 17 to hit.
Miss.
Alrighty. Third attack with the mandibles is an 11 to hit.
Jeez.
Miss.
Alrighty. Brings with Shragnaz to close out the order.
Okie dokie. I don't like the way that guy's looking at Willhelminia. I'm gonna chuck a firebolt at him.
Alrighty.
And that will be a dirty 20 to hit.
Oh.
He has the partial he has the cover, so what was the total again? 20
20 in total, yeah, dirty 20.
just hits. Go and roll damage.
Oh.
Dokie. That will be
He was standing straight up attacking Will, so he's only partially covered, so it's only a +2 to his AC.
I get you. That would be 16 points of fiery burning damage. Shrag's favorite.
And that is 16 points of fiery burning damage as it hits and some more, and he's starting to smolder again with a little bit of flames licking all over, but he's still standing. Not doing so good. He's got some third degree burns on his skin. He's had a little too much fire today.
All this talk of smoldering, all I can imagine is like Flynn Rider from Tangled, just sort of standing there and going, ooh.
It's got the
Alrighty,
smolder.
back to the top of the order with Obsidian.
Okay, so let's see. Oh. I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at the Umber Hulk
Alrighty.
with my +1 arrow. So I rolled a +1 would have been 10 on the die, +8 is 18.
Just hits. Go and roll damage.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so, and since he's there, I get my sneak, which is 3d6. So 4d6 +4. 1 + 3 is 4, +6 is 10, 14, 18 points magical piercing.
Point count. Definitely below half now.
Oh, wait,
Amazing.
plus the 1, 19. Sorry, I keep forgetting the 1 from the freaking arrow.
Yep. Now, did that one include sneak attack? Because Anari's right next to it.
Yeah, I got the sneak in there. It's only a 1d6 +4 regular damage, so the rest of that was
gotcha.
sneak.
But yes, it's definitely below half its hit points now.
Sweet.
Woohoo! Excellent. And I'm just going to kind of stay. I'm going to obviously duck back down, and that's going to end my turn.
Alrighty, back down for that 3/4 cover. Next up is Will.
All right, so I'm like kicking the guy off, and I like plant my foot on his face, and I cast inflict wounds through my foot.
Alrighty.
Nice.
What's the save?
It is a roll, actually, and that's a natural 20.
Totally will hit.
Okay.
What's your minimum damage?
Max that
minimum
damage.
What's your minimum
minimum damage is 33.
Don't bother
with a
rolling.
crit.
It's already dead.
Okay.
Nicely done.
And then I will close the distance towards the one trying to escape. And actually, I'll just go right there. So I am kind of flanking the Umber Hulk with.
You're technically
Anarion.
behind it, so its back.
I'm safe. Okay. The back's not scary enough to make me do a.
No, it's the face
Charisma
that's
save.
pretty creepy, though.
Okay.
Next up, we have Anari. Anari, go ahead and make your charisma saving throw, please.
What's the DC?
DC is 15.
15. I gotta look at my pluses here. It's a charisma, right?
Yep.
I get a plus 10, and I rolled a 10, so that'll be a 20.
You are good.
All right.
Never the slightest chance you'll get a 1.
And so that's my turn then, yeah? So bonus action, shift the hunter's mark from the dead drow to the entrapped drow.
Okay.
And so that is going to now be on him. And I rolled 13 and 18, so a 22 and a 27 to hit.
Both hit.
And the damage on the first hit's going to be 23. And the damage on the second hit will be 22.
It is dead.
Okay.
You go nowhere.
You just carve him up. He tries to parry, but it's just and he
Snip.
drops. Now there's just the Umber Hulk.
All right. That's my turn.
Alrighty.
Solid.
He's dead. The Umber Hulk and going to attack Anari again. So first hit,
What a surprise.
26 to hit.
26 will hit.
Ooh.
13 points of slashing damage.
Indeed.
Second hit, the 14 to hit.
Miss.
Third hit with the mandibles, 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
As it clamps down and bites, 12 points of slashing damage as
All
the
right.
mandibles close in on your arm.
That's an ouchie.
Yeah.
All right, next we have the Shragnaz.
Okay, so is that Umber Hulk trying to aware that the wall's not really going to interfere with any shots it's at?
No, he's too big.
Cool.
He's too big for any kind of cover from the wall.
Awesome. So Shrag's in
That and he's
range.
too far away. If he was like right up against the wall, crouching down, he might get partial cover, whereas a medium-sized creature would get 3/4 cover.
Cool.
But he's also against the wall, so you have no problem with line of sight on him.
Awesome. So Shrag's going to step forwards and start gathering up the fire as if to cast a firebolt. And he's going to pause. And the fire's going to die away. And he's then going to go, ah. He brings his hands back up. And rather than forming the shape of a firebolt, the fire forms into the shape of his hat. And he flings it at the Umber Hulk.
What is happening? I love it.
Frisbee golf.
I don't know. Is it Odd Job or Kung Lao?
And he's gonna yell with it, Shrag hat! And basically that's gonna be a 16 to hit.
Shrag hat?
What was the hit? What was the to hit?
16.
Yeah, you do this. It's so cool. The throwing the hat, it and misses the Umber Hulk and hits the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, never mind.
Hey, but it was cool. It was
likes
cool.
it.
It
He
was
likes the
very
shape of it.
cool.
He likes the shape of it. He's going to try that again. He's like, that worked okay.
It's like Will's kind of looking, sees this spinning hat hit the wall and kind of dissipate.
That was cool.
That complete your turn?
I'm seeing that. So I'm actually going to use a bonus action to let's just grab hold of Nat. I can't think it's really necessary, but she's going to just bomb up to that doorway just to be on the safe side. And then Shrag's going to move up to the side of the wall. And that's me
Alright.
done.
Now, Shrag is considered full cover because he's so small on that wall.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
alrighty. This brings us to Obsidian. Your move, sir.
Happy doing exactly what I did last turn. So it's going to fire a +1 arrow, and I remembered the +1s this time. So it was a 26 to hit.
26 will hit. Roll damage.
So 20 magical piercing, including the sneak from Anarion.
Nice.
Oh.
Well, you got Will on one side and Ari on the other, and you're just pelting it from the side. So, yeah. Still standing, but definitely not doing well.
And that will end my turn.
All right, Will. You're up. What are you going to do?
All right. How you looking, Anarion? You think you're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry, just shy of bloodied.
Okay. I will then kind of skirt around the Umber Hulk. And I know this might make me make a charisma saving throw. But I am going to then grasp my holy symbol and the new sunburst symbol that my party helped me craft, and I will cast what's it called? Sorry.
I don't remember that spell. Is that a new spell? What's it called? What book did it come out in?
It's coming out in Van Richten's, but we haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
Advanced copy?
Yeah.
I will grasp my holy symbol, and a little what looks like a little bit of sunrise kind of hovers above us, and cast Beacon of Hope. So everybody, this probably won't really matter, but you have advantage on wisdom and death saving throws. But the main thing is you regain max hit points from any healing. So then I will also reach out and touch him and cast Cure Wounds with my foot, but the other foot, not the one that I just killed the guy with, the other one.
The healing foot, not the killing foot.
The right foot, because we all know the left hand destroys half the galaxy, the right hand brings it back.
There we go. There we go. And so you will receive max healing from a second level cure wound, which would be 2d8 plus 5. So that's 21 healing.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
You are
very
welcome.
helpful.
That complete your turn?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Nari, you're up.
All right. I'll go ahead and shift with my bonus action the Hunter's Mark to the Umber Hulk.
Alrighty.
And then do my 2 attacks against the Umber Hulk. Is the charisma save only once and then you're immune, or no? Is it every time?
You must make it every time. So Will's going to need to make it.
So I've
at the
got
start of her next turn. You'll need to make it since it's the start of your turn.
Okay.
Okay.
Not seeing anywhere where it says if you succeed, it's
Okay. So I rolled an 18, so 18 plus 10 is 28. I
You're
think I'm
good.
okay.
Jeez.
So first attack
I think if you roll a 5 or lower on your D20 is the only way you're going to fail that game.
fail that save. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to be a paladin when you have charisma as your, ability bumped. So, anyhow, 23 to hit on the first attack.
It hits.
19 on the second.
It hits.
23 points of magical piercing damage on the first attack, 21 on the second.
How do you want to do it?
Jeez.
Well, since he's trying to hurt everybody with his eyeballs, I'll take him right through the eye holes then.
All right. So you just stab both sets of insect eyes, all the hexagonal, even with the little stripe on there.
There you go.
And just takes him down. He collapses down. And that is combat.
Yay! I high five Anarion and give him another cure wounds. You can have 21 more points of healing.
Yay, thank you.
And then I look at Shrag and Obsidian. Do either of you guys look damaged at all?
I only took 5 points, so
Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay. And then my beacon of hope drops because we're out of combat and it only lasts a minute.
Righty.
Do we hear anything else? Want to try to listen to if we hear approaching footsteps, like we might have drawn attention.
Right.
Okay. Unless my math is wrong, this was 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So
sounds about right.
Yep. So go ahead and roll your perception since you're actively listening.
All of us are just Will.
Will's the one who asked, so
That's fine.
21. If at this point, no, you're not hearing anything.
Okay.
You think you hear some footsteps, but they're going away. You don't hear any. You're not hearing any activity towards you.
Okay.
The footsteps. Sorry, go ahead.
Are they running or are they walking?
Roll an insight.
$19.
A casual walk.
Okay. I do hear someone moving down there away from us, but they're walking, so I don't think they're running to alert anybody.
What direction?
That way.
Actually, it would be to the west. And the thing is, it's still it's kind of an echo off the wall of the step. But it's to the west a ways. Can't tell how many footprints are how many is in the group. Just that you do hear, it sounds like someone's walking, and it's very kind of a casual. So you get the idea that there might be another patrol that's in the area, going near this guard post, but since you don't know the size and strength and whatnot of the draw that have moved in, everything's kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
I want to look around and make sure Cablis is around and she's okay.
Yeah, she comes out from behind and kind of gives you a thumbs up and is trying to work on the map and whatnot.
Okay.
I want to investigate this guard room. What appears to be a guard checkpoint or something.
Okay.
Because with that 3-foot walls, and also check the bodies.
All right, we have a couple of short. We have a short sword for each of the Dark Elves, and crossbow
Just a regular short
hand
sword?
crossbows and hand crossbow bolts.
Just a regular short sword?
Yep.
Nothing magical?
A drow made short sword. Big iconography for Loth and whatnot.
What about in the doorway down here, the double doors to the south?
Yeah, since I'm right there, I'd take a peek through there.
You see it leads into more like a kind of more natural cavern. You see some more of the crystals, and it just kind of continues off. You're not quite sure where, just leading somewhere else within in the district.
And it is definitely leading south away from where we want to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of an easterly. It's kind of like an easterly direction.
I would like to turn around and go to one of the crystals.
Okay.
And I take out my quarterstaff and I try to whack off a chunk of it.
Roll for attack.
Give me this. I want this.
Look
Hopefully it doesn't explode in my face.
So Shrag's actually peering over the wall, like a little gap between like his hat and the wall. His eyes just peering over.
That's a natural 19. So that's a 25.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And how much damage? Just out of curiosity.
7.
Okay. You come around with that quarterstaff and you hit it, and you see it crack, and you feel the hair on your arms and the back of your neck start to rise from static electricity as a lightning bolt goes off right in front of your face.
Okay. Dex save?
Yep. Do your dex save.
Dang it. I was hoping this was something we could bring with us. That is a... Wow. This dice is killing it today. 21.
You'll make the save. So it'll just be half damage.
That hurt.
So the damage is 6.
I am the reason the phrase "curiosity killed the cat" exists.
That was 8d6, not 86, right?
No, 8 d6.
I'm dead.
Wait, yep. Yeah, 8d6. Okay. Grabbing the d8s. Why am I grabbing the d8s?
No, don't do that. That's worse.
Okay. First batch. 12, 17. Second batch. 6. 12, so 17 and 12. 29 in half. 14 points of lightning damage.
Ugh. Oh, just look over and my hair is like, there's like little bits of electricity going through the frizzy bits at the ends. And I'm just like, okay, we can't take these with us.
Do you need some healing, Will?
Oh, I mean, I think I'm all right for now. I think I need to learn my lesson. Stop touching things down here.
Shrag's gonna turn around. There's like a
Thank you, though.
dusty black band across his eyes, and the rest of his face is clean. But that little gap that was showing is just like a little bit smudged.
Oh, sorry, Shrag.
My God, you really hit that, didn't you?
I really did. Ow. Okay, no more of these crystals. They're pretty, but ow. All right, let's go.
What, if we look through the double doors on the north, is it just leading to?
You see a worked stone hallway, 10 feet by 10 feet. That kind of leads you back around to where you come into into the main passageway. That's leading, and this one looks, as far as you could see, it's a straight tunnel leading directly north.
Okay. Is there any place that we can see that might be conducive to hiding the bodies or anything like that in the area?
If you could find a spot in some of the as you kind of search through the district, some areas, but this is kind of like one room that had a really kind of central location within the district. So it would take you a little bit, but you could find a room to stash the bodies.
Or could we go back to where the mushrooms stuff are, where the ground might be a bit softer? Can we pull the same trick again with mold earth?
Yeah, the southern path, you could pull that trick again.
Cool.
All right, we'll collect all the bodies then and do that same thing again, so that there's no leftover evidence.
All right, that takes you probably about 15-20 minutes because the Hulk is really big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So you kind of do that, and once you kind of get done with that, you do start hearing footsteps, as it seems like a couple of more patrols are starting to come around, and you realize that on this side, once you leave this room, you are now in the drow perimeter.
Okay.
And these footsteps are from the northern tunnel or from the easterly tunnel? Or the way we came?
You hear it on all three directions.
Cool. Good.
You happen to be kind of, I'll give it to you, where it's like you've put away the bodies and now you come in, standing, you're seeing that straight path north. And you're kind of, with your perceptions, and you're all kind of listening in as debating which way to go, nice and quiet. You hear footsteps within.
Should we?
It's eerily quiet in the area, and you're hearing it. It's very, very light, like because you know how elves don't make a lot of noise when they walk, but you're hearing it. You can hear at least 3 patrols of varying sizes.
Should we try to find a spot in here to hide and wait until they pass? Or should we go north?
If they get here and find out these drow aren't here, there's going to be a lot of...
They'll set up an alarm, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because they were a stationary. They weren't a patrol.
They were a guard post.
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
So while we've hidden the bodies, they don't have any proof that they didn't go chasing something.
We have some of those. We have some of those. Their cloaks. We've taken a bunch of their cloaks at different points. Maybe we could Anarion and Obsidian. That'd only be 2. We could at least put those on and from a distance perhaps appear to be in the position.
I'll put one on as well. Might be a little long for you, Shraggy. I hold it up to him and it's 4 feet on the ground.
Shrag just holds his hand up and he tucks his cloak of protection in around him and then basically sort of concentrates a bit and his armor just shifts shape into sort of drow type robes.
Right. I forgot you can do that. That's so cool. All right. So we're now all dressed up as drow.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but
not cosplaying.
Yeah. At least wearing their outer garbs.
So you're all essentially wearing drow cloaks.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm going to shapeshift the glimmering to make it look like what they were wearing. I'm also going to kind of take out their scimitar that I took from the last group. So again, it looks like I have a drow scimitar. And I'm also going to take the hand crossbow that I have from them. So again, it looks like we're playing the part.
You keep your face fully covered, hide your tail, so there. Will, how are you disguising yourself as a drow?
I put the cloak on. I make sure that it's long enough to cover my hands, put the hood up, got my goggles on, and I'll pick up seeing Obsidian take out their weapons, I'll just pick up one of the scimitars, and I clearly don't know what I'm doing with it, but I just kind of hold it.
Anari?
Well, when Shaggy's around, there's always a lot of ash and soot from his exertions during the battles. So I'll take some and, try to darken my features and face, and then also put the hood up so that it's shadowed.
All right.
Just have interest. From what I remember, the drow and the Illithids didn't get on together, did they?
The drow and the Koatoa don't.
Drow
and roll a history check.
Just trying to think. Oh, really? Well, thanks a bunch. New dice, still the same D&D Beyond. That's a 6.
Even your knowledge growing up is the drow don't like any.
Mm-hmm. In which case, then I'm going to actually. With that being a guard post, were there any sort of manacles or anything lying around? Any kind of sort of chains and stuff?
No.
I have a hammer.
If I had a hammer. Not him around the hood. Okay. I'm going to change my robes back to looking like when I made them look like the Illithid robes previously. And I'm just going to stand there with my hands crossed in front of me and just keep them down low. And basically I said, look, guys, goblin around here is not going to fit in. Just make out I'm a prisoner. And I'm going to go full Chewie. Just stand there.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and give me performance checks, since you're all trying to play the part,
Ooh.
so to speak.
We do
Big old
deception
bonus.
checks. I know. I don't have a
I was
plus
going to
two.
say. So, question on how you're going to attribute this, but disguise is going to be part of the background ability.
Mm-hmm.
So how would
you'd add
that
your
play in?
proficiency.
Add proficiency? Okay. So,
Oh, in
I
which
have a
case
19.
then,
I
and
got
we're
a
doing
6.
what? And we're doing performance, or we're doing
Performance.
Okay. So +3, +4, 6. So 19.
Okay.
for adding
Drag.
proficiency, that's going to be a 17 then.
17.
Yeah.
But you're only playing prisoner.
Yes,
You
he's
should get,
playing
like,
prisoner,
Very
the rest of
convincing.
you are
He's a
playing-
convincing prisoner.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And even Kablis tries to get in to kind of play the part of another prisoner to kind of help you out.
Oh,
So-
sweetie.
You're able to, as a group, you're able to make it look like you got two prisoners and you're able to walk. Now, what path are you taking? I
North.
don't want to assume, but I imagine you're probably
North.
going to take the path directly north.
Yep.
Okay. So you travel along that path. As you kind of go through, who is leading the procession?
I'll lead it.
I was going to say either Obsidian or Anarion. I would think one of us would.
Choice, guys. Who's leading the procession?
I can lead it.
Okay.
Okay.
I want you to, with your perception being so good, I want you to roll me a D100.
Oh. And I've just got my hand on Shraggy's shoulder to like pretend that I'm the one.
73.
73.
Smooth sailing. Pass through the next district. And you come in as you come into the next one, the path turns to the northwest at about a 45-degree angle. You notice as you walk into this area, all of the dust that you have seen throughout the majority of the city the place looks like it has been cleaned, as immaculate. You start to smell the aroma of sweet incense, blood. And as you travel, you turn the corner, do a preview.
Oh.
No, incense and blood.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well,
Oh.
ever.
Uh-uh.
So
Uh-uh.
Anari being the one leading the procession. This path kind of gives an offshoot. It merges up with another main path. As you come around the corner and look, it's just out of your vision. So we'll have and you as you come through where the two paths merge, you can get the smell. It's stronger to your right. And as Shrag comes up, he stops you.
Yeah, I was going to
He
say, I
pulls
don't.
you back, and as you look, you see another set of 3-foot walls and a pair of drow. And this one looks like, and this one is kind of the hallway. It stretches across the 20 feet of the hallway, and the two of them are standing there, and it looks like there's another tunnel leading south, or leading north. it's leading north, but on the Roll20, the map's inverted. So whatever.
Okay.
So leading down, there's a narrow passageway, and it looks like these two are standing guard outside this passageway. And that's where we will end for this week's session.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh man.
So
after this battle, I'm gonna need rest.
We may need one before this battle.
That's what I was
Right.
about to say.
If we're smelling
through my-
blood,
it's a sweet kind of mixture. It's very faint, but it's
If
definitely
it's incense and blood, then it's probably going to be like a drow sacrificial area or something like that.
That's what I was thinking. It's just reeks of sacrifice.
mhm.
I don't want to be that sacrifice.
No thanks.
That is fair. That is fair.
And we
So-
saw 2 drow standing there.
Two drow that you can see. It's a kind of a passageway, or it's one of the large main arteries. So it's 20 feet by 20 feet in kind of that dome thing. You see stretching across is a 3-foot wall, and this is Shrag, and just again stretching across
Oh, right.
the 3-foot wall, 2 drow, and then another just barely kind of there. There's another wall, so it looks like one of those where it's like you have the hallway you're supposed to they come out of, and either side of the hallway there's a barricade.
How much you
No
want to bet
idea
there's
what's down the
a
hallway.
driver in
You
there
just
somewhere.
see the 2 drow. There's just the 2 drow standing there, kind of standing guard.
Okay. Alrighty. Cool. Well, we get to start the next session with the battle.
Not necessarily.
go wrong?
Could sneak past them. Could bluff through it.
That's true. That's true. Never know.
We'll find out next week. So hopefully this was well worth the wait. I know we've been teasing and doing this drow encampment. Now we get to go into it. If everyone hanging out in the chat and have watched for the entire duration, thank you very much. You're all awesome and amazing human beings for hanging out with us for the entire episode, whether it's on video on demand or here on the stream. Greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when future videos are coming out. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern is Challenge Accepted. The party is going through the Ghost of Saltmarsh adventure, the Danger in Dunwater mod section of the module. Campaigns. Anyways, they're going through that. They just walked into the lizard folk community and have been stopped, and now they get to decide how they wish to proceed. So a lot of urban infiltration this week on Scuba Studio. Hope you all are enjoying it. Tomorrow, Sunday with Scoob, 12 noon. Going to work on a young blue dragon miniature from WizKids. Not sure how that's going to go. We'll find out together. Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, is Scuba and the Rye, our flagship podcast where all this stuff kind of came from. So check it out for me and Rye as we talk about movies, games, and whatnot. I know I have some opinions on Days Gone now that I've had more hours into it, and I started playing Spider-Man, and obviously web slinging is addictive. So addictive. But with that, thank you to the cast for spending another Saturday afternoon with us. I'm glad you guys are able to come back. Thank you to the moderators in the chat. You guys are awesome and amazing. Otherwise, I'd go completely insane trying to balance everything. And with that, if there's nothing else, then we will wish you all a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful weekend, and we will see you on our next stream. Good night, everybody.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.